Put a little bit of the rub, nigga, I gotta be safe.
Let's get to the sports talk.
Greatest guys you could ever meet as a media member covering the NBA because he's honest. He's authentic. Sometimes he's emotional, we get that, but he's as real and as authentic as it gets. He doesn't have a lion bone in his body because it pains him to be phony. So you can appreciate that. And what he said there was incredibly profound because anybody who knows Kevin Durant a little bit, even though Kevin Durant may or may not elect to acknowledge those words, Draymond Green saying when he saw Kevin Durant and looked in his eyes and saw that he was hurt, that was when it really, really hit him. Because to Draymond Green, it was like, wait a minute, I'm just telling you how I feel in the heat of the moment. I didn't expect the residual impact to be that you walking around and I'm looking into your eyes and you genuinely hurt. Bob Myers and Steve Kerr were not wrong to ask Draymond to apologize because obviously they're somewhat emotionally detached because they're not Draymond. They weren't the ones that said it to Kevin Durant. So they could see Kevin Durant and they could also see how piercing those words were, recognizing the fact that some of it probably came from the fact that Draymond knew before the season was even done that Kevin Durant had planned on leaving Golden State.
But you can see how someone feel like this could hold us back because you're not really with us. We know you leaving. So what's the sense of you being here really? They know he was leaving from the get-go. He signed here and see if this is going to be a permanent home for him. He signed there to win championships. You know from the jump, it wasn't going to be no long term with Kevin Durant. If you arguing in the middle of the season last year, you know they ain't really get along behind closed door. Like David West said, you don't know what's going on in that locker room. Players know all along KD wasn't going to be there long term. He sit here and said, I ain't feel welcome. And you know he ain't want to be there. As soon as you said that to him, he ain't like that. And that was another reason for him to get out of there anyway, because he already said, I don't feel like I belong here. You know he wasn't going to be there the rest of his career. You know he's going to be sensitive because how he respond to the critics on Twitter. You know this wasn't going to be a long-term thing with KD. They didn't even know that all along what he was doing there. To win a championship. It wasn't to be there his rest of his career. You know that day was coming. And Draymond Green know. He just gonna play the season out and leave. And y'all know what he was signing up for. Once he already said, I don't feel welcome. You know he was leaving after that.
Myers understand the sensitive situation that he's in. You the GM of the franchise. Your objective is to keep these boys at that. You're trying to keep Kevin Durant. You don't want to lose him. And so having Draymond say what he said to him, if you're Bob Myers and Steve Kerr, you're thinking that could have a negative impact. Steve Kerr, a good man and a great coach, a really, really good man. For some reason, he never resonated with Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant was never feeling him. But Kevin Durant was cool with Bob Myers. And Bob Myers knew Kevin Durant well enough to know those are the kind of things that could potentially impact his decision. So if you're Draymond and you're a face of the franchise, okay, and you've been there for these championships and we drafted you, you know what we're trying to do. How does that help us? Which was why they came to him to apologize. So all of that stuff was going on. Draymond his words can be piercing, and it clearly was with Kevin Durant. And I appreciate him acknowledging what he acknowledged to Woj because that is as honest of an assessment of what Draymond was feeling as you can get. And Woj got that out of him.
And this points out the fact that it was piercing to KD, why KD is not thought of even more highly than he is. Because as a package of skills, he should be the best player who ever lived. He's 7 feet tall, he can do everything on both ends of the floor. But he's not the best player who ever lived. And and this is where I'm going with this. Draymond Green, of everyone in today's NBA, he's often compared to Dennis Rodman because they're both power forwards, great defensively and everything, and a little bit they think their brains are wired differently than everyone else. He reminds me more of you, Meta, than anyone else in this game. He is a winning player and very exuberant teammate. But his brain isn't wired like everyone else's. You may be a little more crazy than him, actually, I think, in that respect. But if you know Meta, the best guy in the world, wears his emotions on his sleeve and thinks about the world differently than other people, but hustles both ends of the floor all the time and just wants to win. Let's not forget that Draymond was going to be the MVP of the finals, except he's just not as talented as LeBron, and LeBron took over. He was about to be in a finals with Steph and Clay and LeBron and Kyrie. He was going to be the MVP at his team won, but LeBron just, it was too much.
At 35 in the finals.
Right. And so he reminds me most of you. And so I want to ask you right now, it's obvious we're going to come to you anyway, what do you make of this? Because I don't think anyone's better positioned to say it.
I was in a practice one time with Coach Adelman, and I was getting into a scuffle with a player, and Coach Adelman just let us handle it. I think when the general manager is asking Draymond Green, to apologize, just let him handle it. You got to be a man. And I think, Kevin Durant, somebody say something disrespectful, you got to handle that. If I was coach, I'm like, you got to handle that, man. I'm out of this. And it's all about, being a man and standing your ground. But I do get what Draymond was doing, because when I was young, I would lash out. See, Draymond lets things out, and he's still focused on the team. So you got to respect the guy with that type of emotion, because that emotion could easily go left. He got that emotion so under control, which is really, really impressive.
Well, let's remind the audience of what exactly, paraphrasing, obviously, what was said during the Warriors-Clippers game last year when Kevin Durant, when Draymond got the rebound and took it up the court, and Kevin Durant was clapping for the ball, and Draymond didn't give it to him, and Kevin, screamed at him, give me the ball, give me the ball. Draymond didn't take too kindly with that, went to the bench, was going off, basically like, we don't need you can leave now.
Draymond Green feel like this ain't your team. We won here before you even got here. When he took the basketball off the court, in his mind, he was thinking like, this ain't your team. How you gonna be mad because I did pass you the basketball? This is what I normally do. I take the basketball off the court and distribute the basketball to my teammates. He know Kevin Durant was open. When you seen that play, you had to know it was something going on behind closed door. Nobody could tell me that. He know he was open. Draymond Green felt like you was making this your team. I want to remind you, this is my team as well. Right along with Steph and Clay. You made it seem like it's all about you. He know he was open. He tried to take it in his own hands and prove he could get it done. And he know from there, they didn't get along how people think. They might get along on the court, but when they go behind closed doors, it was something going on right there. And you know that was the end right there. When you see a player knows you wide open, don't get a basketball, and he probably feeling some type of way that you making it like it's your team, you know Durant said, I don't feel like I belong here. And you know you got those 2 championships. You went there when you had that team up, down 3-1. You was up 3-1 against them. You already went to an organization that was already winning championships. And a player that's already there felt like you were just trying to make it all about you. And he looking like we won before you even got here.
Something along those lines. You know it's bad.
So my first practice.
You know it's bad when DeMarcus Cousins has to pull you to the side and to calm you down, which is what happened with Draymond at that particular moment.
But the reason I brought up KD should be the best ever earlier, but he's not. He's great, but he's not the best ever, is I think about Kobe and you. Kobe is a greater player than Kevin Durant. He shouldn't be. He went 6 for 24 in a Game 7 at home against the Celtics. You bailed them out. But it wasn't like you ever hurt Kobe Bryant's feelings. Draymond can somehow hurt Kevin Durant's feelings.
Right. Me and Kobe, we clashed in practice, and it was a time in practice where I just got on that team that I just won prior. And at one practice, I told everybody, like, y'all suck and whatever. Like, because I'm not going to let nobody talk to me like that. Even though I come in on your team, I know they don't need me, but I'm still a man. And I think Kevin Durant, I think he was right by saying, give me the ball. Nobody was wrong in that instance.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports,